Chinese girlfriend, you took your love away from me and went back to China. Chinese girlfriend, wait, we'll never be together.
Oh, it's the kid getting words. Podcast on blast, giving you the real talk, no holding back. Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. There's always a silver lining. We'll set you free, so join the movement. Let's change the game with the Can't Get Any Worse podcast.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Can't Get Any Worse podcast. How are we all today? I hope we are well. Happy Tuesday to you all. What an absolute cracker of a week. And look, I'm trying to pump myself up on purpose. It has been, look, I don't even want to say it's been a shit 24 hours. It's been a shit maybe 12 hours. Let's go with that. But before we do, ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to what our dear friend here seems to have made a cute little lullaby for perhaps a woman in his life that he cares for.
Chinese girlfriend, you took your love away from me and went back to China. Chinese girlfriend, wait, we'll never be together.
Jesus Christ, what an absolute banger. I feel sorry for that guy. He has lost his Chinese girlfriend. That dude looks like Stevie Wonder if he wasn't successful. That's Stevie Wonder if he wasn't blind. That dude does look like he's blind, but my Lord. Have you ever recorded a song? Remember when you were a kid and you like... Oh, God. Remember when you were a kid and you like first got your phone or something and you thought like in the back of your head, I don't know why... And I'm not alone. I know we all thought this because I've had conversations with other people, but there was something in the back of your head that was like, you know what? I reckon I can sing. And like when you sing in the shower and stuff, it sounds okay to you. But when we first got like mobile phones and stuff that had a recording device and we recorded ourselves, oh God. I don't know if I've ever been so disappointed in my life as to hearing my singing voice played back to me through a phone. And trust me, I've had some disappointing moments in my life. So that speaks to where that level is. Anyway, let's rip on to what's happened in the last 12 hours or so. This isn't even on my run sheet, so we're just going off the cuff, ladies and gentlemen. People in southeast Queensland last night, we got absolutely fucking hammered by a hailstorm. So I decided to go to gym last night about 6 o'clock or so, get a bit of extra cardio in, you know what I mean? Just a quick half an hour session. And Nikita texts me, I got about 10 minutes left. And she goes, a big hailstorm coming. And I've gone, oh, yeah. Okay. Look, over the last 16 years, I reckon Nikita's told me there's a hailstorm coming 400 times. I reckon 400 times is a good number. And out of those times, I reckon we've seen hail probably twice. So I've done the old, yeah, righto, babe. Righto, all good. You keep believing in those conspiracies of hail, you know what I mean? Like I haven't seen hail for a few years now. At this stage, I'm thinking, is hail real? Did Epstein really kill himself, you know? This is where I'm putting hail in my brain. So I've gone, yeah, all good. I'll leave in about 10 minutes or so. I pretty much pull in my driveway, get inside, drop my gym bag, and we hear a bang on the roof. And I've gone, just one singular bang, you know what I mean? And I've gone, what the fuck is that? And Westy comes running in. He's freaking out. He's like, it's hailing. And I was... The way this kid carried on last night, holy shit. Anyone that wants to challenge me about Westy's autism again, come to this house during a hailstorm. Holy fuck. He was like, what's that chicken movie from like, came out in the early 2000s where he thinks the sky's falling? I think was it called Chicken Little? Yeah, I think it was called Chicken Little. But yeah, that's basically how Westy was carrying on about this hail just falling from the sky. And I'm like, it's all good, buddy. Calm down. So I go, no, I don't think it's hail. Maybe a tree branch fell on the roof or something. So I've gone to walk outside. Then just 3 loud bangs after each other on our roof. And I've gone, oh, fuck, it's hail. So we've quickly done the quick dash. We've got all the blankets we can, all the fucking like sheets or whatever we could throw over our cars. But it was too late, ladies and gentlemen. It fucking came so quickly and so heavily. I don't think I've ever seen that much hail in my life. You know what I mean? Like our whole front yard was just white. Like it looked like snow. The boys were stoked. Well, Parker was. Westy was freaking out, as I said. And, the first victim, Nikita's windscreen on her car fucking smashed. And I was like, sick. That's so good. And then I'm like, oh, good. Like, I'm pretty sure it's like a blanket statement with most insurance companies. You get one free windscreen every year. And turns out our insurance policy doesn't have that. So that's sick. Shout out RACQ. Hey, any insurance companies watching this that want to sponsor the podcast, we may be looking to swap. Who knows? Send your boy a DM. But so that was the first one. And then we're like, oh, can't get any worse than that. You know what I mean? Wake up this morning and her whole car's basically, look, I've definitely seen worse hail damage, but it's bad. It's pretty bad. Her bonnet, her roof, it's all fucked. And then she's driven it to work this morning, even though it's like meant to be illegal to drive without a cracked window. But I'm like, babe, all our work cars have smashed windows and we drive them around all day, every day. You'll be fine. So she's driven to work and now she's parked in her work lighting, all down her side and shit. Apparently, I haven't seen it yet. And she's like, oh, they're the kind of dints where you can't get good photos. And I'm like, fuck my life. So who knows? Maybe insurance will just write the whole thing off. Who will know? But then I go look at my car this morning before I go to gym and I'm like, oh, okay, I got pretty lucky. Must have protected my car just in time. And same deal, drive to the gym and in the gym lighting, dents all over my bonnet. And I'm like, fuck my life. So now I've got to go through the whole insurance process as well. When did insurance premiums go up? Not premiums, excess. When did those go up as well? Like I remember when back in the day when I used to crash a car every second week, it used to be like a $500 excess and they'd do whatever you needed. And I was like, oh, crash my car on purpose and get a new fucking body kit. You know what I mean? And Nikita lodged hers last night, $850 excess just to get the window replaced. And I like started getting online quotes. It was like $600 just to get a windscreen replaced privately. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So anyway, we're both going through the whole insurance thing and who knows what's going to happen with all that. But it is, look, if there's 1 week where we didn't want all that to happen, it's this week. Especially, look, there's some other stuff going on at the moment as well. It's been happening for the last 3 weeks at the moment. But I'm not going to announce it on the podcast until it's completed, 100% done. But just know there is something that's been happening in the background. People that were listening to the podcast potentially about 18 months ago, close to 2 years ago, will know exactly what I'm talking about. Something is finally happening. And look, to fix one issue, it's fucking made a whole heap of other issues, but it's all good. Everyone's doing their best to make it all come together. So once that is complete, I'll come to the podcast and I'll give you a full recap on the story, but let's have a little sippy susu. Oh, no Celsius today. I haven't had time to go to the servo this morning. I have a chaotic day today, so we'll rip into that because I got to explain next week to you guys, but we'll get through what's happened this week and then we'll get to that before we get into my weekend comedy, I think, because next week is going to be a shambles. But before we do, guys, it's been a big week of like, obviously it's the end of the year. We're wrapping up our school years. Parker is like going through all these end of school graduations and all that. Westy's starting to get his report cards and all that sort of stuff, okay? And Westy gets his, I don't know if it's like a report card or whether we just got like it must have been a report card. Who fucking knows? It's so hard to keep up with school these days. Thankfully, Nikita looks after all that shit and I just got to be like, Westy, knuckle down and fly right or whatever that saying is. Oh, God. But anyway, Westy gets his report card back and it is, look, definitely this year it has started to resemble that he is pretty much following right behind me in my footsteps in my schooling career. He is, I don't know if school's for him. I see cabinet making in his future. Cabinet making and then a potential comedian career if he tries really hard, you know what I mean? I could hand all this podcasting gear down to him in the future. Who fucking knows? But we've started to see notes on the bottom of his report card, things like Weston is distracted in class. Weston has trouble focusing. Weston distracts others. You know, all shit that I was getting on my report card. And So Nikita and I are like, fuck, how do we bring this up with him? So we start trying to talk to him and stuff, and we're chilling on the couch the other night, and we're like, everyone was relaxed, everyone was having fun. So we were like, okay, this seems like a good time to bring it up with him. So we go, oh, Westy, you want to talk about what your report card said? So it kept saying that you're sort of distracted in class, you can't focus. They're saying that you're rushing your work and then just getting it all wrong just so that you don't have to do the work anymore. And then there's other times where you just take your time and you don't get the work done, like before like the fucking timers run out or whatever. And he's like, oh, okay, I guess so. And we're like, okay, like what? Acknowledge it. Acknowledge what's going on so we can go to the next step. Anyway, and Nikita gets an email from his teacher and she's like, she thinks Westy would benefit from getting extra time. No, what was it? What was the fucking phrase? Something about Westy needing extra time to the other kids to comprehend what is going on in that lesson. So then we bring that up with Weston. We're like, oh, Westy, your teacher is saying that you need extra time than the other kids. What do you think's going on there? Like, are you struggling to read the questions? Are you struggling to work out the answer? What's the go? And he's like, I don't need extra time. And we're like, well, we've got this email from your teacher saying you need extra time. And he's like, oh my God, it's like 2 minutes. Everyone needs to relax. And we're like, okay, it's still extra time. Like, why are the other kids getting it done 2 minutes quicker than you? He's like, oh, I don't know. Like, I didn't realize school was a race. And I was like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, both good answers, you know? Like, yeah, I bet Einstein or fucking some other genius wasn't sitting there and his boss was behind him going, hey, Einstein? I don't know. I'm getting that confused. Hey, Einstein, hurry the fuck up. You're 2 minutes behind schedule, you know? So I was like, oh, okay. He's like, 2 minutes is nothing. And I was like, oh, you're not grasping what we're trying to tell you right now. Just look, I will show you I basically stood in front of him. I'm like, see this right here? Do you want to become this? Scared him straight. I reckon he's gone to school today and he's like, fuck that shit. I do not want to be a cabinet maker. I'm like, perfect. Let's get this done. So let's get on to a bit of a funny story with him this week, eh? That one, I don't know where the fuck I was going with that one. Oh God, I'm going to take a sip and we'll get into this one. So the other night, he's just being the biggest smartass in the world, okay? Again, another trait that he has inherited from me. I've only got myself to blame. Anyway, he's being a big smartass and he's running his mouth. He's being cheeky. He's doing everything we're asking him not to. He's annoying his brother. He's annoying his mum. And I'm like, oh, Westy, just stop. And he's like, said something else smart. I'm like, dude, go have a shower. Just calm down. And then when you get out of the shower, get your pajamas on and stuff, hopefully you're in a better mood and we can all carry on with our night and have some fun. So he's like, all right, goes and has his shower, gets out of the shower. Clearly this didn't fucking do anything for him because he gets out and he's being a bigger smartass than he was before he got in the shower. And he's running around naked now. And I'm chasing him around the house going, Westy, get in your pajamas. You are annoying everyone. And he goes, nah, I don't want to get in my pajamas. And he just starts just shaking his butt at me and stuff. And I'm like, oh, like my blood was boiling. I'm like, get in your room and put your fucking pajamas on now. It was like chasing an 8-year-old version of me around and just seeing myself just be the biggest smartass back to myself. It was infuriating. So I've gone, dude, go put your pajamas on now. And I think Nikita ended up snapping while she was doing school lunches or something. She's like, go to your room, put your pajamas on. So he started running to his room. And as he's ran past me, he said another smart-ass comment. And I don't remember what it was, but I've gone, that's it. I am getting this kid and I'm bashing him. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to genuinely bash my kid, but just a good, earnest, fun wrestle between a father and a son to show, hey, I'm still the dominant force in this household, you know? And just get to keep a couple of sneaky hits on his thigh while his mum's not looking. Anyway, we get to his bedroom, right? He's legging it. He's running as fast as he can. He can see the anger in my eyes. And as he gets to the entrance of his door, he rips his towel off from around his shoulders and leaps towards his bed. And as he takes the towel off, he throws it towards me. Oh, God. I need you guys to close your eyes and just imagine this cinematic scene, okay? He flicks this towel off towards me, okay? And as I'm running towards him at a fast pace as well, I now get to the point where this towel is up in the air. And I don't know how the fuck this happened. It's just one of those things. I've reached out with both my hands and I have so perfectly caught either end of the towel in perfect towel flicking position. And I've gone, you're joking. And my mind did not even have time to process this. This is just prankster 101. If a towel lands in your hand in perfect towel flicking position, you have to flick that motherfucker. You know what I mean? So in the same motion of catching that towel perfectly, I have wound it back and I've just let it flick. And in my head, I'm like, this isn't going to flick good. This is just going to like slap his leg. It's a wet towel. It's just going to slap his leg, scare him a little bit. Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Potentially the best towel flick I've ever done in my life. I've just flicked the towel and pulled back at the perfect motion, and the tip of this wet towel oh god, the tip of this wet towel has just flicked his ass cheek so fucking hard and made the loudest bang I've heard, like louder than the hail hitting my roof last night. And I instantly felt so bad, and I knew what was coming next. And of course, as soon as that crack bellows throughout the halls, Nikita goes, "What the fuck was that?" And I've gone, Westy, shut the fuck up. You can't get me in trouble right now. This is all your fault. If you weren't running around being a smart ass, I wouldn't be in trouble right now. I was like, oh, I just flicked Westy with a towel, but he's all right. And he's screaming. Oh, God. He's screaming at the top of his lungs. He's like, Dad flicked me with a towel. I'm bleeding. I'm like, you're not fucking bleeding. Calm down. Anyway, perfect scene. So I was like, all right, calm him down. I'm like rubbing his leg and shit. I'm like, it's going to be okay. Everyone calm down. Everything's fine. Nikita comes in. She's like, look at the red mark on his leg. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, I feel bad enough. But it was just that traditional like Homer versus Bart scene. You know what I mean? Like that was just straight out of The Simpsons happening in my real life. But teaches him for being a smartass. And you know what? He got me back because I was lounging on the couch yesterday, minding my own business. And I don't know if any other dads do this. I get myself in some weird positions on the couch. And you know when you just like wiggle into a position and you're like, I am so fucking comfy right now. Nothing is going to ruin this. So I wiggle into a position on the couch. I've got my phone in my right hand. I'm scrolling. And my left hand, right, I'm going to demonstrate for YouTube viewers. My left hand is up on the back of the couch, like the fucking cushion part, you know what I mean? And it's just completely outstretched. And I don't know why, it just felt so good for that arm to be stretching and scrolling in the other arm. And I'm just completely zoned out. Now, my 8-year-old son, Weston, walks past me and he completely just hits me with a drive-by roast. He goes, hey, Dad. I go, yeah, buddy. He goes, put your hand up if you're gay. Oh, God. He goes, put your hand up if you're gay. And before I could even realize, I've looked at my left hand. It's up in the air. I had no comeback. I could not. There was nothing I could say to him. He fucking roasted me hard. There is no comeback for that. I just had to lay there and accept my new identity. I'm now his big gay dad. I'm just a big gay dad, everyone. Oh, is that too on the nose for an episode title? Big gay dad? Guys, if you don't vote for that, I'm going to be very upset. But let's hit us with another can't get any worse clip. Turns out it can get worse clip. Sorry. Let's see what this bloke's up to. He looks like who's that old porn star? The ugly Ron Jeremy. This dude looks like Ron Jeremy for all the audio listeners.
LeBron James back shots! Yeah!
What the fuck does that even mean? I'm so confused right now. I'm as confused as you guys. What the fuck does LeBron James back shots mean? Anyway, well, I know what he's insinuating. He's insinuating he wants to fuck LeBron James from behind, but I don't get it. Like what is the context for that video? Does this guy have some sort of relationship with LeBron James? Where has that stemmed from? But my Lord, let's have another sip. You know what I should get? I should get one of those like Camelbacks, just with a little straw in my mouth, like a hamster. just slurp from it every couple of minutes. Oh, God. Look, I might sound a little bit nasally to you guys today, and that's because last week I got sick as fuck. I had like a 24-hour flu just out of nowhere. Like Parker had it the day before, and then he ended up coming home from school, and then I got it the next day. Completely fucking wrecked me. I don't know. Like, I don't think I've been that sick in so long. I ended up coming home from work early, slept all afternoon until I had to go get the boys. And this is when Nikita realized that I was actually sick, because she's like, oh, you just didn't want to work. She goes, oh, you still got any gig tonight? And I'm like, yeah, I was like, not going to fucking pull out a comedy for anything, you know what I mean? Anyway, had my little nap, woke up from my nap feeling fucking worse. And I was like, message the room runner. I'm like, bro, I'm so sorry, but I got to pull out tonight's gig. I never do this shit. And then I text Nikita. I'm like, just pulled out of tonight's gig. I feel like shit. And she's like, wow, you must be fucking sick. So any brothers out there suffering from whatever the fuck this 24-hour man flu is, I feel for you. But yeah, just this lingering like nasally nose is hanging around. So this could be my new voice from now on. Or perhaps I just sound normal to you guys, because I do have a bit of an annoying voice. I don't know why you guys come back every week, to be honest. But anyway, let's get on to a scary moment from this week. Look, as we all know, part of my day job is to drive to job sites, meet with clients, discuss their kitchens, measure jobs, things like that, you know. Had a big meeting on Thursday, I think it was. Driving down the M1, do the meeting, everything's going fine. Put the old headphones in for the drive back. And I'm probably half an hour into my drive, right? Half an hour back to work, zoned out on the M1. I'm traveling 110. And as I start to approach anyone that's familiar with like the Gold Coast area, I am right beside sort of Movie World, Dream World, that sort of area, you know. And I'm following a tow truck, and all of a sudden, I'm in the second left lane. Okay, all of a sudden the tow truck indicates to go into the left lane, and he goes into the left lane. He's in there for perhaps, I don't know, let's estimate 5 seconds, like long enough to be like, okay, you're in that lane now. So I start to accelerate up towards him. I'm probably about a quarter of the way past his tray. And all of a sudden, this guy notices that the upcoming exiting lane is coming to a standstill of just people getting into the pullover lane to take the exit. So he's like, well, I'm not fucking stopping for no one. And I've just got out of that lane a few seconds ago, so I'm just going to go back over there. Without indicating, without fucking anything, he just swerves into my lane out of nowhere. This is directly outside Dreamworld, and I'm about to get hit by a tow truck. That's some straight Alanis Morissette type shit, you know what I mean? Getting hit by a tow truck. Can you get any more ironic? Would he tow me? Would he hit me and then tow me? These are the questions I ask myself before I go to sleep. But he's come across and legit almost fucking took me out. And I've had to do the old swerve to miss him. I didn't even have time to check my mirror to make sure no one was in the right-hand lane beside me. I just had to put my fucking hands in the air and go, Jesus, take the wheel. And I swerve in there. Luckily, no one was beside me. But then the van, because I was in the work van, right? It was top heavy. I started getting flashbacks of rolling the truck, and I'm like, not again. I cannot get another workplace car accident on my record. I would be virtually unemployable in the trade industry if I've got 2 written off vehicles on my name. Anyway, so I swerved. The van starts to fishtail out into the next lane, and I've gone, oh my God, I'm about to die outside Dreamworld. This is the fucking worst, you know? Just bleeding out on the M1, just looking up at someone falling down from the Tower of Terror. That's perhaps the worst way to go. And just watching people enjoy their lives while you're bleeding out on the highway. So then I've like done a little drift in the van, and then it's just fishtailed back and got it straight again. You know what I mean? I don't know how I did it. I don't know what fucking... we just put it down to that, you know? Jesus took the wheel that day. So shout out to the Lord. Shout out to the big man upstairs. Just got my back for the 5,000th time in my life. So speaking about the Lord, I mentioned that the boys are going through their end of year processes. We've got graduations, we've got end of year chapels, we've got all that stuff. So it all kicked off Thursday afternoon, the same day that I almost died. You know, I had to go to the school chapel and just pay my respects. I went there. Parker had his graduation, and we were skeptical. Okay, Parker is notoriously not a great schooling. Like, he doesn't like going to school, doesn't like engaging in events, things like that. So we're like, oh, this is going to be hell. He's just going to end up coming and sitting on our laps, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we get there. He ends up going in with his teacher. We're like, oh, this could be, what's going on here? This will be good. And people around this time last year remember I sat on this exact seat and I was talking about his daycare graduation, where it was just like a torturous event, just kid after kid screaming. Screaming as they're being pushed towards the stage to accept their little like scroll thing and a graduation certificate. So I'm expecting that. And this year, complete 360. I don't know how or why, but he was up on stage. He was he wasn't smiling or anything, but they had to do like a performance. He's singing all the words, he's doing all the actions. I'm like, holy shit, who is this kid? And I could not wipe the smile off my face just seeing the little dude up there. Just living his best life. He even went up by himself, shook his teacher's hand and got his little graduation thing. So yeah, I don't know what's flipped a switch. Hopefully we're on the up and up with that. But then we move on. Westy the following morning. So Friday morning he had his end of year chapel or whatever the fuck it's called at private school, and he goes, "Oh, Dad, you coming tomorrow?" And I was like, "Oh, I've got work, but I'll peel away." I'm like, "Are you doing something?" He's like, "Yeah, I got like a performance." And I was like, "Oh, all right, I'll be there." So left work, headed straight there, and I was like, wonder how this is going to go, because Westy is, again, he's not the greatest performer he's not the best public speaker, let's put it that way. And I get there, taking time out of my work day for this, and they go, "All right, grade 3's up on the stage. Let's show all the parents what we've been working on." And all the other kids blew it out of the park. What an amazing performance. My son, Weston, stood there like a fucking statue, full statue mode, just staring straight ahead, not blinking, not moving. Just looked like he was waiting for a sniper to give him the signal, you know? Oh god. And I was like, wow, this is worth it. But you know, at the end of the day, fucking I loved being there. You know, you got to be there for your kids. That's the main thing. That's one thing my kids will never be able to turn around and say. They'll say, "Dad was never there." But hey, any excuse to leave my job for something at school, I'm fucking there. But the big thing that I took away from it is obviously throughout the whole chapel they were singing like Christmas carols and hymns and all that sort of shit. And most of the parents up the back, we just do the polite thing like the footy players do when they sing the national anthem. They just mouth like the words, because like if they sing the words, the bloke beside them will call them gay or something. So most of the parents up the back, they're doing the same thing. But there must have been someone who bought their granddad. This old dude sitting directly behind me. This was his moment. He thought he was trying out for like fucking The Voice Senior Living Edition. But he was just belting out these fucking Christmas carols, full baritone, just full like deep voice. He wanted to be the center of attention at this school chapel, and I'm like, bro, you need to calm down. Like, I had to hold my laughs in so fucking hard because the rest of the parents are virtually silent. This dude he's living his best life. He was made for this moment. This is his time to shine. So I thought I had another turns out it can get worse clip after that, but no, I don't. So good structuring, James. Anyway, I just want to come on the podcast this week. Just want to announce that my Joe Rogan transformation is basically complete, ladies and gentlemen. One of the last steps that I've been fighting for years has been completed this week, okay? And what I'm talking about is I've resisted it for the longest time, okay? I go to gym and there's just something in the back of my head where I'm just like, you got to go to gym, you got to lift heavy weights. It's all about the bench press, the squat, the deadlifts. It's all about those big fucking weight movements, okay? And Joe Rogan has been a big advocate for these for as long as I've been listening to him. He goes, I can get a better kettlebell workout in 20 minutes than any other workout at the gym. And I've gone, yeah, right. Fucking homo. Fucking loser. Kettlebells are for like people that do CrossFit and like sip chai lattes and their name is like Breeze or something, you know? Not this guy. Not this big Jack dad from Logan. So I'm going, nah, I'm not fucking doing that. And now that I'm like trying to lose weight, I'm trying to eat healthy, I'm trying to get into like a bit of the boxing, fitness, things like that. And my TikTok at the moment, because obviously I've searched a few like boxing footwork exercises and just like drills you can do on the bag and stuff. And because I've searched those, it's come up with like every maybe fifth video has been like kettlebell workout for boxers. And I just see these completely fucking jacked and ripped dudes throwing these kettlebells around and just doing these like simple motions with these kettlebells. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a crack. I'm going to give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? And guys, I got to fucking tell you, he is onto something. That is so hard. Just to do a solid, like, I reckon I only did like 10 to 15 minutes. I was dripping in sweat. I was huffing and puffing and just everything that I'm reading about it. Oh, gosh. This could be the gayest thing I've ever said. But everything I'm reading about it, it's just so good for like movement, range of motion, cardio, strength, just everything, you know, just throwing these kettlebells around. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say, guys. I guess I'm just a big fucking... You know what I'm going to be doing next? A few months ago, I came on here and I just started roasting blokes that go to the gym in long tights with no running shorts over the top. I reckon that's probably what I'm going to be doing next. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to like stuff some socks or something down the front though, because I do not have the physique down there to pull those off. But let's look. I reckon I'm going to pull this next. Turns out it can get worse. Clip forward because my voice needs a little break. Let's see what this bloke's on about.
All right, it's lunchtime. What's everybody having for lunch? I'm going to Taco Bell and I'm going to get a burrito supreme. I love burrito supremes. What about you guys? You going to go to Taco Bell or you going to have something else, pizza or something? Let me know what you're having for lunch. I want to hear.
Righto, mate. I'll let you know what I'm having for lunch. What the fuck was that? Who gets on their Instagram, just puts... Do you know what? I hate getting on my fucking stories or something and talking directly to the followers. It just makes me cringe so hard. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like every week when I jump on there, I'm like, what's going on, guys? It's that time of the week where we've got to pick the episode title. Do you know how much that makes my fucking skin crawl when I have to do that? But I know it's just part of the game. If I pulled my phone out, if you guys ever see me do this, if I ever pull my phone out and I ask you guys what you're having for lunch, and then I tell you guys I'm having a burrito supreme, please, somebody drive to my house. Somebody go and hire a tow truck and run me off the road on the M1 outside Dreamworld, because that'll do me, Gus. I am fucking done if I ever do that, okay? Oh, that poor bloke. Somebody please reach out to that guy and see if he's okay. But look, speaking about Westy getting on my last nerve earlier, here's another moment he had. This was literally last night, and I had to write it down because I'm like, I need to tell the guys about this. We were looking for something sweet to have last night. I know I'm on a diet. It was Sunday. It was cheat day. Let's put it down to that. So he's going, oh, I want pancakes. And we're like, we don't have pancakes. He's like, well, can we go to McDonald's and get pancakes? And I was like, we fought it for like half an hour. And I was like, fuck it. Let's see. So I jump on Uber Eats because I heard a little rumor that all day breakfast is not available anymore. So I was like, oh, is that true or is that a rumor? Turns out that seems to be true because it was not available on Uber Eats. So I've gone, not possible. So we're looking in the cupboard and stuff. We couldn't find anything sweet or delicious to eat because, as I said, we're trying to eat healthy in this house. And Nikita goes, she's digging in the back of the pantry and she goes, oh, I do have a pancake mix in the back. And we've gone, oh, hallelujah, it's a miracle. So we conveniently had a can of whipped cream and all that in the fridge, because Nikita had to make scones yesterday. For Westy's doing this weird thing at school where they've got to like submit a recipe, like a family recipe or something. We don't have a fucking family recipe. So Nikita's like, what do you want to cook? He's like, I don't know, scones. And she's like, sure, okay. So she went and bought like a can of whipped cream to have with the scones. Anyway, get back to the fucking pancake story. So Nikita goes, all right, I'll make pancakes. And Westy out of nowhere, he goes, oh, actually, do we have to have pancakes? And she's like, dude, you've been screaming about pancakes for the last fucking 45 minutes. What else could you possibly want? And he's like, oh, could we have those small pancakes? And we're like, small pancakes? And he goes, yeah, pipe clips. And I've gone, what did you just say? He goes, pipe clips, the small pancakes. And I've gone, are you saying pikelets? And he's like, no, pipe clips. And I'm like, dude, why are you saying pipe clips right now? Oh my God, it made me so fucking angry. I'm like, dude, they're called pikelets. He's like, Dad, they're called pipe clips. And I'm like, we're not going to fucking Bunnings and eating hardware for dessert, okay? They're called pikelets. You need to fix this is what your teacher's talking about, okay? This is what your teacher's fucking talking about right now. You need an extra 2 minutes to realize that it's not pipe clips, it's pikelets, okay? Fuck me. It made me so angry. Anyway, let's move on. My other son, you might think, wow, he doesn't get on your nerves as much as Westy does. That's where you'd be incorrect. He does. He does, ladies and gentlemen. And he pulled this one out the other day. He's talking about one of his friends. And we know this family, not like we know them well enough, okay? And he goes, oh, my friend has, like his parents have 5 kids. And we're like, no, it has 4. They have 4 kids. And he's like, no, definitely have 5. And I'm like, no, definitely have 4. And he's like, no. He sits us down. He starts rattling them off one by one. He says, name. And then he's searching in his head. He can't think of a 5th one because this 5th kid doesn't fucking exist. And he's gone, and we've gone, see, Parker, there's only 4 kids. They've only got 4 kids. And he's gone, yeah, but if they had a 5th kid and named him Johnny, they'd have 5 kids. And I've looked at him and I've gone, well, what do I say to that? You can't argue with that, can you? If they did have a 5th kid and call him Johnny, they would have 5 kids. This dude is just, he's throwing out there the world's easiest math problems and solving them like he's a fucking genius. He's just solving them himself and he's going, Dad, you're an idiot. This is how the world works. And I've gone, you know what, buddy? You could be onto something right there. So I've gone, that is correct. Good job, buddy. So anyway, let's move on before we get into my weekend comedy. We need to address next week, okay? Now, at this stage, I still do not know how this is all going to work and what is actually going to come out next week. So it is going to be all over the shop, and I just ask that you guys please bear with me for that week while I work out shit, okay? Now, this is all because for the first time in fucking as long as I can remember, to be honest, we are going on like a little family getaway, a little family holiday. So and again, it's not going to be huge to a lot of people, but to us, it's fucking gigantic. Okay. So this is huge for our family. We're taking the kids to Sydney for a few days. So we're going to be down there for 3 days. So we're going to be there Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And we don't get back on Monday until about 7 p.m. we fly in. So that leaves me stuck to record a solo episode for next Monday. Now, let's touch on Sydney a little bit and why that's so exciting. So not only have we not fucking been away for as long as we can remember, both the boys are stoked. They both like Sydney for some reason. Like they like looking at the Opera House. They like looking at the bridge. They want to go to Taronga Zoo. They want to go Bondi Beach, all the fucking touristy shit. And we're like, you know what? That would be pretty cool. So it'll be the first time the boys have ever been on a plane. And I've said, especially this year with me flying around for gigs and stuff, it's when I go to airports and stuff and I see other families with like, they're getting on planes, the kids are all excited. I'm like, fuck, I would love nothing more than to take my kids on a plane. So next Saturday, that will be eventuating. So quietly stoked. Inside, it feels like I've reached like a parental achievement, if that makes sense. So I'm stoked that we can make that happen with the boys, and they're absolutely frothing that they get to go on a plane. So we will see how that goes. But obviously, when I get back, I'll have endless Sydney yarns for you guys. But back to the podcast. That's where it leaves me stuck. So I won't have a solo episode for next week. Couple of options I'm throwing around. I have So either this is what you're going to get next Tuesday, okay? Next Tuesday will either be one of three things, and it just depends on how the next few days eventuate. I am supposed to have another pretty big guest locked in to do the podcast this week. So we're supposed to be recording on Thursday or Friday. If that does happen, I will release that guest episode on the Tuesday. And then next week, we also have a UFC breakdown episode. So you'll get a guest episode Tuesday, UFC breakdown Thursday. If the guest episode doesn't eventuate, the other thing I'm thinking is switch the UFC breakdown to the Tuesday, record that before I do go to Sydney, then record the solo episode when I'm back from Sydney, release that on the Thursday. So that's probably more than likely what's going to happen. That's probably going to be quickest and easiest. Third option I'm throwing around, and this all just depends how this goes and eventuates and things like that, is Friday night I have been invited along with some other podcasters and streamers and influencers to the IBC. We had Dan from the IBC on a few weeks ago as a guest. So we've been invited to, as the Can't Get Any Worse podcast, to stream the whole IBC event and basically be a unofficial commentator on the event. So that'll be streamed on the Can't Get Any Worse podcast YouTube channel live. So you'll see my reactions to the fights. You'll see me talking about the fights. Got a few things lined up in the background, which I am hoping they come to fruition. If they do, just to set me aside from the other streams. So if that does go well, I will clip that up and release that as Tuesday's episode, just as like a random bonus episode. So either way, you guys will have something in your ear holes on Tuesday. It more than likely won't be a solo episode unless I can somehow make a miracle happen. But something will be there Tuesday, UFC breakdown next week, and then it'll be back to regular programming the week after. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me on that while I just fucking try and juggle a billion different things to make it all happen. So if it wasn't like a family holiday, if I was just going down there for like gigs or a podcast or something, I'd just take my gear and record in the hotel room. But I want to kind of just focus on the family holiday and just be present in the moment, not worry about the podcast, not worry about stand-up, just be present. There's no other fucking better way to put it. So appreciate you guys. If you don't want to listen to whatever I put out, if you don't want to listen to it and just wait for the solo episode the following week, I will not hold anything against you. So let's play another Turns Out It Can Get Worse clip before we get in. Holy shit, what did I just do then? My God, I almost fucked that up bad. All right, another Turns Out It Can Get Worse clip before we go into my week in comedy.
Good morning, beautiful, pretty angel. You're having a great day today. Beautiful. Always looking amazing. Always looking good. Always looking beautiful. Every day with those pretty hazel eyes of yours. Love you. Have a great day.
Ugh.
Love you, pretty angel of country.
Jesus Christ. He has a lazy eye and lips like Dory. If a bloke with a lazy eye and lips like Dory ever calls me beautiful, I'm calling the police straight away. No questions asked. Oh, fuck my life. Anyway, let's get on to my week in comedy. I only really had the one gig this week. So Newmarket Hotel for Sit Down Comedy Club. Look, I swear, I'm starting to feel like I'm being tested by Sit Down. And I don't know if I am or not, but this is the third Sit Down comedy gig in a row that I've been last on the lineup. Now, they know I've got a family to get home to. They know I'm juggling a million things. And just to put me last on the lineup and just see all these guys like go first. And this is no hate to anyone in the scene. Like everyone's got their own lives, things like that. But just to see people that are like, oh, I'm going home to play Xbox or something, or oh, I'm going to the pub after this. Like just to see them get to go early. And I'm just sitting there missing out on my kids' bedtime for this. I'm like, oh, fucking, it is what it is. But anyway, so I've sucked it up. I've gone, it is what it is. Luckily, I took my laptop again, just sat in the corner doing what I could there. And then the second test of the night came along, and I was like, am I being fucking tested right now? What is going on? But the MC comes over to me and he goes, hey, do you want to do a bit of extra time tonight? And I've gone, in my head, I wanted to say no. In my head, I was like, I want to get home. I want to do my set and get the fuck out of here and get home. But I was like, I feel like I'm being tested. So I was like, yeah, okay. How much longer do you want me to do? And he's gone, I don't know, just a couple of minutes, just feel it out, whatever you want to do up there. And I was like, okay. I'm like, did someone drop out or something? He's like, no, just like if I sort of like someone on the lineup, I just come and give them a bit of my time just to let them have more stage presence. And I was like, okay, appreciate it. Thank you very much. So I got up there and I think I was supposed to do 5 minutes. I think I did like 7 minutes when I checked my timer. So the only thing I was dirty on, because that sort of got thrown to me right before I got on, I wasn't dirty about it. It was just like, I came here to try this. So I went there with like a half new joke. I wanted to try that one. But because I crammed a heap of older shit to make up the time before it to hopefully win the crowd over, I got off stage and I was like, fuck, I forgot to do that bit. So is what it is. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what comes of that. It is, I've heard a couple of people whisper to me in the scene that there's a couple of people moving to Sydney and Melbourne end of this year, like a couple of regulars at Sit Down Comedy Club. So there could be potentially a couple of openings. So we will see. Maybe 2026 will be my year with Sit Down at the Paddo and things like that. But hey, if it's not, as we all know, I'm working on some shit in the background. So the other gig I had locked in last week, obviously I told you guys I had to pull out of it, was Lamax at Wollongabba. So I don't think anyone went there to watch me, but sorry if you did, and was disappointed that I was not there. But I was, like I said, sick as fuck. So I have a makeup gig at that one in a few weeks. So keep you guys posted as to where that one is. Let's get on to our last turns out it can get worse clip for the episode. This one, you guys are gonna fucking love this. All right, let's hit play.
Fuck up and suck my dick. Shut the 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 fuck up and suck my dick. Bitch, give me neck, she my little baby pose. I ain't gay, but the ops be on pose. Karen, put the phone down, pucker up, suck dick, bitch. Suck it up. I don't shoot bullets. I shoot cum. Catching out home in traffic. I'm an empty drum. I'm a Lil Wayne tip to my lollipop. Go down and give me top. No ending for butts. I need tonight on your face. Come shot, come shot, come shot, come shot. Shut the fuck up and suck my dick. Shut the fuck up and suck my dick.
You guys are welcome. Having that stuck in your head for the rest of the day. Shut the fuck up and suck my dick. Is it too late to replace the fucking podcast theme song? That is up there. That is up there. I don't shoot guns. I shoot cum. I don't know if I've ever heard a more on-brand fucking song than that guy. So shout out to him. Get in touch if you want to come and do a live rendition of that on the podcast. But last thing I got to talk about this week is another new sport that's popped up as of late is the whole Run It Straight challenge, okay? And last week, another one debuted in Sydney. It's founded by a rich dude and Tai Tuivasa. So Bam Bam from the UFC ran into him a couple of weeks ago, which I told you guys on the podcast. They've now started this thing and they've called it Run Nation. So I saw a couple of clips on Insta. Looks fucking insane. It's just head injuries with an audience. It is CTE just waiting to happen. It looks so fucking brutal. But from all reports, from what I've heard from other podcasts talking about it, they had like doctors on the sidelines. They were calling the matches. Like if the doctors were doing like head checks and all that and they weren't passing, they'd just call the match. So I guess that's good. And look, there are some footy players out there that were like maybe the whole game of football is not their thing. Maybe all they can do is just tuck the ball under their arm and run it straight as hard as they can. And a sport has now been invented for those guys. So, I mean, it's all nobody's holding a gun to your head, you know what I mean? It's all optional. It's these guys are choosing to go and do this, but it just made like watching it just made me so thankful that I don't play football anymore. Like, just like that was my job as a front rower, just to run it straight. Just don't ask any questions. Just get this ball and just run as hard as you can at those giant guys on the other side of the field. So I'm glad I got out of footy while I could, just so I can remember my kids' names these days. So yeah, go check that out if you haven't seen it. But that's basically brought us to an end of the episode, everyone. I appreciate all you guys listening. Things to plug for this week. We have the Jungle Bar at West End. So that is a new gig that's popped up recently. This will be the first time I'm doing that. Keen to see what it's all about. So that is on Wednesday the 16th. Come and check that out if you're in West End. Guest episode is dropping this Thursday. So I am recording that in about 2 hours. So I am absolutely stoked with that, and I'm going to be fangirling like a little bitch on that episode. So we have BKFC legend Hayes Heppy on the podcast, it's absolutely blowing my mind that he's going to be in this studio in a couple of hours and we're just going to be shooting the shit. So check out that episode on Tuesday. Then, as I mentioned earlier, I've got the IBCO2 live stream on the Can't Get Any Worse podcast YouTube channel. So if you guys can tune in, check that out. Even if you don't want to watch it, put it on your TV, put it on your laptop, put it on your phone, and just put it in another room on mute. You know what I mean? Just to get my live stream numbers up, because as I've mentioned to Dan from the IBC, I am treating this as like a job interview to become like full-time member of the IBC team. You know, like that is definitely a sport I can see myself getting involved with, and yeah, who knows? Maybe take these streams all over Australia, all over the world, who knows, and just be an unofficial commentator. But yeah, if you, whatever device or screen you've got in your household, put that on, put the live stream on, react to me in the chat as well. I'd love to chat to some of you guys throughout the stream, just to, obviously it's going to be tough to talk non-stop for fucking like 4 hours. But as I mentioned, I've got some ideas up my sleeve that I will be bringing to my stream to make it a bit of a point of difference and hopefully less boring. So other than that, guys, send submissions via DM on Instagram at Can't Get Any Worse Podcast, or by email at can'tgetanyworsepod@gmail.com. I appreciate all you guys listening. Keep sharing, keep rating, keep listening. Just keep doing what you guys are doing. As I've been saying lately, you guys are smashing it just as hard as I am. So I appreciate all you guys, and I will see you later.
Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. It's all